welcome back to the Team Empire podcast. I've got another one of our pros on the pod today. I'm obviously your host, Shannon, so welcome back. I've got one of the girls on. I've been meaning to get her on for a while. She's been busy, I've been busy, we've been making it work, and we were going to make it happen, and now we've got it done. I've got Bikini Pro, Emily Sullivan on the pod. How are you, Em?
Hi, I'm really good, thank you. Thank you so much for having me on your platform.
Oh, thanks for coming. It's been so good. Obviously, we've been chatting for a bit, so it's just really, really cool when it comes around and we get it, and everyone's so excited. All the WOP girls, of course, want to hear about your journey, and everyone kind of
Oh,
knows bits, but you've been up to a bit since then. So we're going to chat all about it, babe. We're going to go into a few topics in this pod. If I can just quickly introduce everyone to this podcast and what we're doing today. We're going to chat to Emily about everything, what she's been up to, future plans, all of your questions. There was a bunch of them on IG, so it was really cool. Thank you, guys. And I just want to also just mention really quickly before we jump into it that I'm only going to be doing one podcast a week now. I was getting a little carried away at times, so I was doing 3 or 4 and just making them work, but I'm going into prep soon. So I really want to make sure I'm just sticking to one a week. I don't ever want to give it up, but I just want to reduce it down a little bit. And we're also going to touch on, Emily and I, we're going to touch on a new project that I'm working on called Defender. And it's going to be something slow, but it's something I want to do long term. So we're going to chat about that as well, because it's a really important topic. So we'll get into that. But first, Em, where in New Zealand do you live? Tell everyone who you are and what you're doing, and what do you do for work as well? Everyone always wants to know
of
that.
course. Well, first of all, 3 or 4, churning that out a week. You're a machine. Like ups to you. I didn't realize it was that many. Wow.
Too many.
Oh my goodness. So my name's Emily. I live in Christchurch. I'm what you'd call like an allied health assistant. That's what I do for work down here. So essentially, I work under the umbrella of the specialist mental health services. So I work in an adult inpatient mental health facility, and I support the allied health clinical staff deliver high quality patient outcomes by facilitating things like the ward program. So the ward program gives people quality of life in hospital, it keeps them engaged, and it also just helps them, develop skills and do things in hospital that you do in the outside. So we don't want people just in hospital just doing nothing all day. We want people up and cooking and engaging with like sports and stuff like that. So
It's so cool. Is it really rewarding for you? Do you like feel really good when you, obviously there's got to be bad times and good times, but do you feel good for doing that job?
I love it. Yeah, I absolutely love what I do. It's so rewarding, and it's basically my dream job. So it's great.
I
Yeah.
love that, mate. Is it what you want to do long term as well? Like you're in your place and you want to stay there?
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to stay in mental health. I've considered other routes, but for now, this is definitely what I want to do. Yeah.
That, mate. There's so much to it too, isn't there? So you can always branch off, but it's so
Yeah,
nice.
for
You're the
sure.
perfect person for it. Anyone who knows you is like, she's an angel. You're like perfect for the job. So thanks for doing what you do, because I bet it's just impactful hugely. So it's really
Thank you. Thank you. It is really, really rewarding. And it's really cool because I'm studying at the same time while I'm doing it. I'm doing like my diploma. So it's great. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
good on you, girl. All of that in bodybuilding. So we'll chat about how all of
Yeah.
that works.
A
But
lot
we needed,
more.
yeah, so much on the plate. We need to chat about Arnold, babe, because it just finished. And also, just before we get into Arnold, I literally just opened up my YouTube before we started recording, because I was like, oh, I'm going to watch this afternoon. And there's an Olympia TV episode, if anyone's watching this or listening. It looks like Jen Dory and um, Blaine Kisco. What's her first name? Oh my gosh, I've lost it.
Maureen?
Maureen, they're both
Maureen.
confirmed for
Yeah.
Olympia. They're both confirmed for Olympia. So they're both
Oh,
competing. I'm so
great.
excited. They just confirmed
Great. Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Oh,
Jenny back. I'm so excited.
I'm so excited to see Jen on stage again. She is an absolute fave of mine. So that's amazing news.
I know everyone was a little bit unsure if she was going to come back or if she was going to get pregnant or what was going to happen. So you never
Oh,
know
yeah, yeah.
if she's going to come
It's
back.
been
So
so like suspenseful, but yeah, this is so good to see. Yeah.
So moving on to Arnold, obviously, let's give Vanya her moment. Damn, I love Vanya, and she looked so great, babe. And obviously, we've been chatting about it, and heaps of people through the Team Empire podcast page. Vanya took it out. Amy in second. I want to know what you think about it. Did you watch much of it, and what were your thoughts on those placings?
Yes, I watched the highlights. I went onto YouTube. I had it up on my TV. Big ups to Vanya. I've actually been following her for the last 3 or 4 years, and just to see her progression through the sport's been really amazing. And Amy, same with her. I've always followed her, so it's just incredible. But I don't know how those judges do it. It's like splitting hairs sometimes. But massive congrats to Vanya. She looked amazing.
Yeah,
Like her glutes are just out of this world. Oh my God.
she's come so far, and her reaction was so sweet, wasn't it? Wasn't it so cute how she reacted? And she was like, I can't believe it. Like, it was so nice.
Yeah, those are the kinds of moments that I love about bodybuilding, just seeing that reward after so
Mm.
many years of hard work. That's, oh, it's like why I do it. It's just
Yeah,
amazing.
I love it. And everyone's like, all for one day. And I'm like, but you don't know. Like,
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, anyone can show up.
exactly. Anyone can show up and anyone can outwork you or look better than you or even not outwork you. Some people went a little too hard. Like Jazzy Fresh was a little over conditioned. She had veins all down her arms and everything. And I was like, whoo. I was thinking she was coming in for top three at least, but she got pushed out for that. So it's kind of nice they don't award the crazy developed. Like there was a few people that were just getting a little bit too big, and then so maybe some people that were just like too conditioned. And it's nice they don't favor that. Hey, Vanya's a very good balance, and I really like that they favored that, and it's really good for all of us as well because us Kiwis we're not like quite Amy Delgado jacked yet, so it's kind of nice to know that we're like just there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah, for sure.
I love it. While we're talking about this, all of the news and everything that's going on, what are your thoughts on the fit model division? We've obviously just started that. It hasn't launched in New Zealand. Will be this year, probably. Hopefully, we'll see. But we've got a first pro in this division and everything. Obviously, it's new. You haven't competed since this has been around. What do you think about this new division?
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Yeah. I think it's really nice because not everyone wants to get to that level,
Mhm.
that really jacked like Jazzy Fresh, Amy level. I think it's really cool. It gives people more options and opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for it. I quite like it.
It's cool. I'm excited to see how it develops and what happens. And like I was talking to Kate Carroll about it, and she was saying about how far bikini is going, and it is. Some of the girls are going quite far, so it's kind of interesting to see it get brought down a little bit and have a new division. So
Yeah.
excited to see how it unfolds this year. Hey, for us.
I'm really excited, and especially how it's going to go in New Zealand and who comes back and that kind of stuff.
Let's see. I'm so pumped. But you, what have you been up to? So okay, tell everyone who might not know, when was the last time you stepped on the stage? When did you get your pro card? And what maybe have you been doing since then? Probably a lot, but like in a nutshell.
So I wrote this down because I had to think. So I did my first show in October 2021. That was
Wow.
my first ever show. I got second and second in novice and open tour.
Yeah.
Then I competed next in September 2022. So about 8 months later, I won the overall at the South Islands and I took out my classes. I did October Nationals 2022. I got third in the open tour. And then a week later, I came back to the natural nationals and I won my pro card. So that's kind of like my competing history.
Yeah. I love it. It sounds short when you say it out loud like that, but it was 2 years of competing, wasn't it?
It's crazy. I won my pro card in October 2022, just 1 year later after
That's
my first show.
and it's been well, not 3 years, 2.5 years pretty much since then. So it's been a little chunk of time and like probably quite a bit's happened since then. But let's go back really quickly. Who were you battling with for your natural pro card? Was there anyone else up there that you were like having a little battle with? Was it quite fun for you? What was it
Oh,
like?
definitely. Oh my gosh, Lou Mullen. I had my
Oh,
work cut out for me.
Lou.
Yeah.
Yes, I forgot about Lou for a second.
Lou Mullen. There's this girl called Amy. I can't remember her last name.
Mhm.
Amy.
Can't
And
remember.
there was Ayako up there as well.
Yeah, of course.
That's the main names I can think of right now. I'm sure there was more. I'm pretty sure the numbers were quite high for that show, but yeah, those are the main ones I can remember.
I love it. And what was it like? But when they called out your name, were you like sure at that time? I remember I was there watching, but I can't remember exactly the play. Feels like a long time ago now. But how were you feeling? Were you like sure at that moment? Like I'm pretty sure they're gonna call my name. I've been front and center, or were you a bit unsure? And what was the feeling like when it was like Emily?
That's such a good question. I had got dead third in the opens the week before at nationals, so I kind of walked off stage at nationals the week before, and Frank was like, immediately he said to me, "Right, we're going again next week," and I was like, "I don't know. I just came third. I don't know if I'm ready to even go for another pro qualifier. What if I just take 2 years off
Mm.
and just go?" And Frank was like, "No, no, Em, I think you're ready." So I went to the show the next week with no expectations. I knew that Lou was going to be doing it, and I honestly didn't expect to beat her because she had beat me fair and square at nationals. So when I won that class, when I won that open tour class, it sort of dawned on me that it might be a possibility.
Yeah.
And then I went to the overall, and then I was just in the middle, and everyone was just cheering for me, all of the WOV girls and Frank and Kate. And I remember when I won my pro card, Frank nearly broke the seat in front of him. he was he like jumped up. I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and Kate just like, like she just ran up. She kind of like floated up. She's so graceful. She just ran up and like gave me a big hug. And I guess I wasn't expecting my pro card that day, but it kind of dawned on me that it might be a possibility when I won that class for sure.
It's crazy. That definitely would have given you that little inkling of like hope, like, oh, this could be it. But you don't want to get it in your head like it's mine. Right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. You just don't want to get hopes up too high. So
no, just in case, because it's so much harder to get knocked down, isn't it, than to have a nice surprise. But what do you think happened between? Because I love Lou Mellon as well. We're all good friends. Like we all talk to each other. We're all lovely. But what do you think happened in that week? What do you think happened? Did you improve really good, or did Lou maybe slip a little on the peak week that time?
Well, just speaking for myself, I had my period when I won overall at Christchurch, and at the following show, 3 weeks later, or 3.5 weeks later, at Nationals, I had my period. And the way I go with my cycle is that I get really watery and I hold all of my water in my lower body, and it blurs me completely. It really does me dirty, my cycle. And I did have my cycle for those shows. And then the week after Nationals was, what is it called? Not the luteal phase, the follicular. I was in my follicular phase that week. So I just went and just tightened up. My tines were back. So I think that's what happened for me personally, is I just sharpened right up, and that's what happened.
There it is. I love that. That's so cool. Going up against Lou, because it's been a while since Lou's been up as well, and it's just like I just want to see you both back. Like I want to see Lou get a pro card. I want to see you get a pro card.
Yeah, absolutely. She needs to do it again.
She will. I feel like she will. I feel like she had a bit of a moment where I'm just going to give it put my heels up for a minute, but I feel like she's coming back. So we'll see. We'll see. And I just don't want her to come back this year because I don't want to lose to it. Just kidding. It's fun, isn't it? It's always good to know who's kind of coming, and good having people come back is always really, really cool. We love following the journey. What about when you were younger? Did you start with like sports and stuff, or dance, or did you do any of that when you were younger, like before you moved into like the gym type of thing?
Yes, I did dancing from 10 years old, but I was never a sporty girl. I used to be really scared of the ball at school. I couldn't do sports. Never was a sporty girl, but I did dancing from age 10 and then carried that on through to my degree. I did my degree in performing arts and musical theatre and stuff. So carried that all the way through. But mainly just dancing and a bit of cheerleading and that kind of stuff.
What kind of dance did you do?
American jazz.
Oh, nice. Do you think that's helped you with like posing kind of thing, or just like maybe just the presence of it? Does it help a little bit with that?
I would say so. It gets you quite comfortable in that performing realm, and it gets you quite like comfortable with being out there in a way. And there's one thing that I learned in drama school that I really, really found helped me, and it's that the way you practice is the way you perform. So if you practice with a frown, if you practice with your posing's like got no energy in it, you're going to walk on stage and you're going to perform that way. So if you practice really, really well and you've got a smile on and you've got the energy happening, you're more likely to perform that way too. But
it's so true. Humans are habitual. Like we're just habitual. We just like to do the same things over and over again, and we'll follow that. So if you don't, it's so true. If you don't practice with a smile, you go out with a smile. Like
you get in the habit. You get in the habit of just, this is my front pose, this is my side booty pop. Yeah. But if you bring that energy to your practice, that really, really helps. Yeah.
I totally get that. I get that completely. And all of you girls out there practicing your posing now, because there should be a bunch of you, make sure you're practicing with a little smile on as well. Present this to the judges. So what? Oh no, I want to go back to your bodybuilding. So with sports when you were younger, when did you go to the gym? When did the gym start? And what made you go, I'm going to go to the gym and lift weights? Like what was that like moment for you?
Oh, that's a good question. I did my PT course in 2019, like really early. And that was kind of when I was first playing around with weights. I wasn't quite sure yet. I was 22. And then I didn't properly get into the gym properly till 2020. That's when I started. And then I was just sort of mucking around. Like, I'll be honest, I wasn't really following a plan or anything. I had like PT sessions here and there, but I wasn't fully committed. And then I signed up with Frank in 2021, and that's when I started taking weight training really, really seriously and actually doing a structured program. So I know, like you, like yourself, you've been in the gym for like 15 years or something, right? You've been into it. I feel like I've just been in it for about 5 years or so. It's been yeah, not a long time, I feel.
Yeah, no, not a long time for a pro either, babe. Like, you mean, you got into the gym and it was like 2 years later you're a pro. That's crazy. That's such quick development, you know. And do you think your body responds like that? Like, you do put on muscle quite not easily, but like your body does adapt quite well?
Um, I don't put on muscle very easily. I find that's quite tricky, like a lot of women. But I feel like I'm a naturally lean person, maybe because of my height and my muscle shows easier. Maybe that's how it works.
That could be it. That could totally be it. It's always harder when you're taller too. You've got to have more muscle on the frame. And like, that's
Yeah,
classy girls, we know.
yeah,
And when you finished up, when you got off the stage when you got your pro card and you haven't got back on just yet, do you think that the bikini division's changed at all? Like, I mean, everyone keeps talking about how quickly and rapidly it's changing, but even just in the last 2, 3 years, do you think it's changed or grown, or what do you think has changed the most about it?
I think, yeah, I think it's obviously like evolved slightly. I think it's evolved slightly, but not too much because they keep pulling it back, don't they? They keep going, oh no, this is too big now. We need to pull it back. So I think it sort of starts to evolve and starts to get bigger, and then they sort of bring it back quite well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
yeah, I don't know, not too much. I think they keep a pretty good hold on it. And especially like Mo does an amazing job in New Zealand as well. So
Yep, absolutely. He's like, oh, that's getting a little bit. Oh, that's not enough. Like, he's really quite picky, isn't he, about what he wants? And it's like, it's not going to go anywhere unless it's like, you're going to represent the country well. And I really like that about him. He's so cutthroat.
We're very lucky. We're very lucky to have him.
We are. We're lucky to have the damn sport over here in this corner of the world. I mean, it's hard to have it and it's expensive, so we're lucky. And you've been coached by Frank for a while now, like you said. You started with him and you haven't had another coach besides Frank, I don't think. So tell us about your journey with him. Like, how did you find him? Why did you pick him? And why are you still with him? Like, what makes him be a great pro coach as well as an amateur? Like, what do you love about it?
So yeah, I started with Frank in early 2021, about March or maybe late March, early April. And so yeah, that'll be how many years is that? Nearly 4 years.
Years, yeah.
Oh, that's so long. Yeah. I've been with him quite a while. He knows the way I work and I know the way he works. So we do work quite well together. I remember DMing him on Instagram like around about that time. And I was like, hi, are you a bodybuilding coach or something? I just said something really cringe. Like, are you a bodybuilding coach? I might be doing a show. And I'd kind of like made up my mind that I wanted to do it. And so we jumped on FaceTime and just had a quick chat and told him my plans. And he was like, yep, absolutely, we're doing it. And yeah, the rest is history, really.
I love it. And what's made you want to stick with it? Like, obviously you love him and everything's great, but did you have that thought when you were a pro, like, oh, maybe I should go elsewhere? Like, everyone just has these thoughts crossing mind, like, oh, you want to go all the way? Is this the right person? Have you had any of those thoughts?
Not really. Not at all, really, because he just takes such good care of us. And I think, yeah, he gives that level of personability that I think you are kind of hard pressed to find elsewhere. And yeah, he's definitely looked after me. He's supported me, not just in bodybuilding, but through life stuff. And yeah, no, I'm really happy with Frank.
Yeah, he's the best. I was just quizzing you, but good answer. She got it right on.
Yeah.
And he's got an Olympian on the team. So, I mean, there's no like roof to it. It's not like, oh, he only has amateurs. Like, he's actually got a ton of pros and like, you know.
I mean, it goes without saying the man knows what he's doing. And yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a reason why we all love him, okay? There really is. What are your thoughts on our newest bikini pros? So last year, obviously, we had two again, a natural and a standard. We hadn't had that for a couple of years since probably you, and then it come back. So now we've got Lily and Christelle. Do you know them at all? What do you think of their physiques?
I love them. They're amazing. Christelle's a very dear friend of mine, a very old friend. We competed together in 2021 for my first show. I think it was her second show at the time. So it's been amazing, like being a part of that, like when she was down here in Christchurch living, and now they're in Aussie. But yeah, I'm so excited. And we are so excited to compete again, hopefully. We are so excited. We're just like, yay, we get to compete again together. It's so good.
At home.
And Lily's so lovely. I talk to her now and again, and it was so exciting for her when she won her pro card. Like, that's another amazing reaction.
Mhm. Yeah.
I actually think it's really cool, like the amount of younger girls coming in that are they're
Mm.
so disciplined and they're so like everything I wish I was when I was 20, 21. I was such a loose cannon. Like I wasn't meal prepping, I wasn't doing all that. And I think they do a really good job, these younger girls that are coming through of representing the sport and like just support them 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, babe. They're doing great, eh? Like young girls, like you were just saying, when I was 19, 20, 21, I was just like saying loose cannon at the festivals,
Yeah.
partying, whatever, like going to the gym, but I wasn't doing so I'm like, imagine if I started back then. So these girls are going to be, imagine
Yeah.
they're 35. Wow.
I think I was doing the Kayla Itsini's BBG, like the 18-week one. And I thought this was peak fitness.
Oh, wow. It was for the time.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. It's evolved. Now look at you now. Let's talk about your training. So what does your training look like at the moment? Like, obviously, this is a nice big off season for you for your first pro debut. You've got a lot of time. You've been working hard. We all know that. We can see little snippets that you share with us. But what does your training look like now? I want to know like what your split looks like and maybe what you're working on in your physique.
Cool. Right. So I do 3 lower body days, 2 upper body. It goes like that for about 3 months, and then Frank pulls me back to 2 lower body days, just every once in a while. I guess my growth feedback has always been just grow, just get some muscle on that frame. So for me, it's definitely my shoulders. That's probably my biggest point of development and improvement. But just everywhere really. There was a point where Frank did let me know that we needed to bring up my shoulders to match my glutes. So we've done that now. But it's just a constant, just tweaking process, I think.
Yeah, it's a forever journey. But do you love the build? Are you a build girly? Do you like lifting heavy and eating? And like, is that your thing?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely. I love lifting heavy and the build. That's probably up there with prep even. Like I really enjoy reversing out and then being in that like that prime muscle gain kind of arena. I really like that part, yeah. And then
Yeah.
cardio becomes fun and
Yeah, absolutely. Just being fueled and having energy is just nice, eh? Especially after prep because it's like, whew, so low for so long. But
yeah.
do you enjoy prep as well? Are you like, because some people thrive in prep, and I do for most of it until peak week rolls around. But how do you feel in prep? Are you like thriving? Are you enjoying it? Are you liking seeing your body, or is it just like grind?
Well, I feel like I'm such a different person from when I last prepped,
True.
being 2.5 years ago. Like I feel like I'm a very different person. So I'm excited to see how I feel this next prep, like this upcoming one for the New Zealand Pro. I'm just keen to see how I go because I'm in a 10 times better headspace and a much, better relationship and all that kind of stuff. Because those pillars really matter when it comes to prep. And I just feel as though now that I've got all of those basic life things sorted, I'm really excited to see how I go. And I think I will really enjoy it. That's my suspicion. Yeah.
I think you will too, babe. And you've had a good amount of time that you're like, your body's ready for it again now. Like, it's not like you're going back to back preps every year like some people do it. It's great, but it's hard on the bod. But you've had this nice reset, and it's like, okay, I can go now. I can give it everything. It's going to be fun.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
That's,
Nail on the head.
I love that so much. And you said you like a reverse diet. You're like the first person that I've ever heard. But like, how do you manage it? Because obviously most people struggle, most people hate it, most people binge, most people like go off the rails a little bit. But how do you manage it? And what did you find strategy wise maybe worked for you?
My first ever reverse diet from the South Island champs, I I found that really easy. I found it really, and that's not to be like, guys, reversing is easy. It's
Yeah.
actually not, it's definitely not. But I found that really easy. But the second time around, I found it really hard. And I think it was because I've had a lot of time to reflect. I think the first time around was easier because I had no external problems going on. I had no issues, no nothing. It was just go to work, come home, make my dinner. It was really, really fine. And then also, I think it was because my calories got to eight. I think I was still on like 17, 1800 for that,
Oh.
like going into peak week and stuff. And Frank had me in a really, really, really good place. And I didn't even have to cut down that much. I was still on really high calories, which was quite nice. And I think that's definitely a factor is when you're on higher food, you don't tend to miss it as much.
Yeah.
Then the second time around, going for my pro card win, Mo said to Frank, like, she does need to be leaner. So we did have to really push. Mo said, bring her in Kate lean. And so we had to go really, really hard with the conditioning. And I think what happened there was a lot of life stuff going on. And I think that does affect your reverse. It depends on how crazy stuff gets and how much you've been kind of putting off, like, oh, I'll deal with it after prep. And then it kind of just comes at you. And I think that's sort of what happened to me the second time around.
Yeah, just life, eh? Just life on top. Like, I don't think people think about that. They're like, I'm just going to do prep this year. And they think, oh, prep's going to be it. Like, that's going to be all my life. It's like, no, no, no. Like, your boyfriend still could cheat on you. You might have to move out of your house. Like, there's so many things that could happen. Like, life just happens. It doesn't give a fuck if you're on prep or not. So,
yeah.
maybe, what would you tell some of the younger, or just any of the girls or anyone that's like maybe thinking about prepping this year? And if these interruptions happen, like, would you be like, oh, maybe don't put your life on that show? Like, it doesn't have to be that show, or like, like, what advice would you give to someone about like, life happening in the middle of prep?
I would say make sure you know who you are outside bodybuilding. Make sure you've got values and you've got certain things that uphold your life and support your life, like a good family, good family support or good friend support. You can't choose your family, but that kind of stuff. I think that sometimes, and I definitely fell into this, you can put all of your worth into prep, and how well I'm doing my prep is sort of how good of a person I am. But yeah, that doesn't always work, because then what happens if shit happens after prep?
Yeah.
And in your reverse.
Yeah, and then your worth's on that, isn't it? It's like, oh, now I feel worthless because that didn't work out. And it's like, well, that's not everything. There's more to life.
Yeah, definitely. I think like just being strong in who you are, and reaching out if you need help, like reaching out to people and just letting them know you're going through a bit of a tough time, and just knowing who you are, having hobbies outside of the gym as well. That's really helped me. Just seeing people and just getting out there, definitely.
Yeah, unwind a bit, eh? Like, take a little bit of away from prep and everything. Just have at least something that takes you away from it. Even if it's like jigsaw puzzles or something. Like, who knows?
Yeah, it could be anything.
That you want. But it is good to have like maybe your ducks in a row as much as you can before prep, even like financially. Like, there's so many little things, and if shit does happen, don't let it interrupt your whole world. Like, I mean, if you can't do this year or can't do the Wellington regional and you have to change your work, that's fine. That's what bodybuilding is. You have to roll with the punches. You have to listen to your coach. You just have to listen to your body, listen to your life. Like, things happen. So the stage is always there. It's not going anywhere. So keep rolling. Hey?
I've actually been thinking about this a lot, like recently. I think that like working where I do has given me such a good perspective. Like, we get to do this. We don't have to bodybuild. We actually get to do this. And so many people can't do stuff like this because their health or their circumstances, or they just don't think they can. And we're so lucky to be able to do it and do it well, for sure.
I totally agree, babe. It's the most humble way to think of it too. And there's a lot of ego that people think is in the sport, but really it comes down to that. And it's just so nice. Let's talk about posing. Your posing is beautiful. I love your posing. I can't wait to see you pose again, because it feels like it's been forever and I want to see your new routine. As an amateur, how much did you practice your posing? Because obviously you had Kate, she was your coach. How often did you practice per week leading up into a show?
I practiced every single day. I maybe took 3 or 4 days off for like 2 years. I practiced, like the year and a half that I kind of was prepping and stuff. I practiced like basically every day, even when I felt crap, and even when I didn't feel like I wanted to. I did it every single day. And I can't say I've done that like in my off season, because life happens, but yeah, definitely. And always after my workout, I'd quite like doing posing straight after a leg session, because then my legs would be shaky, and I kind of got to understand, okay, well, my legs might be shaky on stage. How am I going to work with this? And
gotta pump on.
Yeah, and Kate was amazing. She was my posing coach, like right up until my pro card, and she was so supportive, and she was amazing.
Yeah, I love that. She's so good. Everyone's always raved about her. So if you need posing, get into it now, guys. Get your coach, get yourself sorted. Don't start any later than today. I've told you so many times in this podcast. Get up there and battle me, girls. Come on.
And like, you don't have to practice like as often as I did. Sometimes I look back and I'm like, I think I might have been practicing the wrong things for a good 3 months there. But make sure you get a coach, and like get a knowledgeable coach that they can do it.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. And run drills. Hey, like I think a lot of people they think they need to put their shoes on and do their whole routine and do like, it doesn't need to be that fancy. You can just do transitions for like, 10 minutes. That's still practice, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Or like the session I'm going to work on my back pose or my walk or that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, little pieces, hey, and don't forget the little pieces like that back walk. Everyone forgets to try like to practice that bit, and you're like, oh no, everything else is perfect, but the damn back walk. So try
I
it
know,
all.
yeah.
Yeah, get a little checklist down and get it sorted. You've got a new posing routine now that you're a pro. That's exciting, and it's longer and it's more fun, and you get a back walk. You get a back walk. Speaking of back walks, have you created your posing routine? Have you tried a few? Have you got a couple on the back burner? Have you got your actual routine down? Like, how are you at with your posing pro routine?
Well, I'm working with Ree from Team Hera at the moment, and we're working on it really. So we've sort of got half of it. We keep getting excited and putting new things in, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna have it. Well, we're gonna have it down in a couple months for sure.
And is there any like Olympians pro routines that you watch and you're like, oh, I'd like it? Because you're all about posing. I know you've got a couple of clients of your own, which we'll talk about in a second. But are there anything like, oh, I want to do that turn to the front, or do you get inspo from Olympians and pros, or are you just kind of like, I'm going to do what works for me?
Oh, definitely. I definitely get inspo like from what's her name? She's got Lorna Dunbar. I love her posing. I love the way she does her transitions, like from the back of the stage and she comes back. And
So
Kate's a big inspo. Kate like inspired me to do bodybuilding though, so she's always my inspiration.
okay.
And then Jazzy and also Amy. Oh yeah, Amy Delgado for sure.
It's so good, hey. And if you guys follow Morgan Eldritch, she's an Australian bikini pro. She's been in a posing coach. She's been lately putting up reels, redoing, like doing herself as like doing. She just recently did Vanya's before Vanya one. It was like perfect timing, but she did
Oh,
Vanya's, and I was like, that's such a hard. If you've seen Vanya's routine, it's super hard.
no.
But she's repeating them all, and she's doing a real good job of it. But it's just fun to see how you can recreate it.
Yeah,
Um,
she's amazing as
yeah,
well.
amazing. I love her. Apparently, she's coming over this year. You might be up against her, my girl, but that'll be fun.
Oh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to meet everyone.
Yes, it's going to be more fun than like, I mean, everyone else will be like, oh my God, how scary. But I think it's going to be more fun just to be around everybody and have it in New Zealand. Like, this is huge, hey.
Really exciting. Like instead of being scared, we should be keen as like, as an opportunity.
Yes, it is. It's going to be so big. Put us on the map. Gilco, come over. We've got a show one day. And what about your thoughts on the posing change for NPC girls? Because that is changing in Australia. We haven't confirmed. We usually get the last, we find out latest, but we'll find out about the walk. So normally we do the T walk or the I walk. Everyone calls it something different, but walking to the back, then walking to the front. We're now just walking straight to the front. So there's no walk back walk. What do you think about that? And do you think that is a good thing? Do you think that it's going to take some time? Like, what are your thoughts about that change?
We get more time. So I
Yeah,
love it.
we'll take it.
It's literally all the thoughts I have is that anything that gives us bikini girls more time is, yeah.
We'll take it.
I'm yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be more streamlined, I feel. It'll be more just like
Yeah.
you get straight to the judges. Like there's just no mucking around, you get to get there and you get to hit your front pose and everyone gets to see you. I feel like when there's a little bit of fluff at the back and stuff, you can sometimes catch out maybe bits about your physique you don't want the judges to see. Whereas if you come in and you hit your front pose, which you've done a million times, turn to the back, good, you're gravy. There's not a lot of time for the judges to be like, oh, there was a little bit of fat there, or like, you want to give them the least amount that we can. So structure, turn to the back, boom, done. Let's get comparisons over with. So it'll be fun to see all of these changes this season. Hey, there's quite a few.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I feel like just bikini, just the vibe is different the last couple of years. It feels more exciting. It feels more fresh.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
Lots of newbies. We love it. We love it.
I love it.
So you're a posing coach. Like we're not advertising it. Emily's posing coach. She's got enough on as it is. But you do have a couple of clients, and good old Liv Hobson. Everyone loves her. So she just shares you and that publicizes you straight off the bat. She doesn't even need to advertise. But I want to ask, because a lot of people do ask you, are you taking on clients, and do you think you'll start to do more posing coaching in the future, or are you keeping it quite small at the moment?
Well, yeah, I could be keen to take on new clients. I've got 5 girls at the moment. So I feel like I'm sort of reaching my limit a wee bit just with working full time and the resources I do have. But yeah, I do have a few girls at the moment, and a couple of 1, 2, 3 are IFBB first timers, and a couple have done it before. So it's really exciting. It's a really exciting time, actually. I haven't had this many girls before, but yeah.
Go team. And so do you think you might, so if girls are like, oh, what, Emily is my coach, do you think you might be able to take on a couple more if they reached out, or should we just cap it there?
I think maybe like 2 or 3 more, and then we'd probably cap it.
Nice, awesome. So if you girls are looking for a coach and you want Emily, she's in Christchurch, you can always hit her up and see where she's got some spaces left for you. Moving on to a different topic. I want to know if you're still netty.
Yes, I've always been netty.
Of course you are. We chatted about this at the South Island show, but I've got to put it out there. And I want to know, like, because this is something that I think about. Because if I was to go pro natural, of course, as well, the PED pressure, like, I feel like, because I'm always intrigued about PED. So maybe I think about them more than others. I'm just intrigued. I'm interested. I want to know all about them. I want to try them one day. I want to do everything. But do you feel pressure now that you're a pro, and like now that you see the bigger girls up there, you know, on the international stage, Pittsburgh, whatever? Do you feel a little bit of pressure, and is it something you'd consider, or is it nah?
There's pressure either way. I think there's pressure whether you're on it or not. I think that, especially being in the pro league, I think that is pressure as it is. You know, there is a certain standard to uphold, and I'm happy to, but yeah, I think that it's not really something that's crossed my mind yet. Like I think that possibly in the future, like I might have to start considering it, but that just depends on how far I want to go. Like, do I want to go to Olympia? Do I want to go to, Arnold or whatever?
Yeah, see what happens in the future with that. But I feel like it's just no one in New Zealand really does that as much. I always want to know if there's pressure, because I don't think there is. Like, when you know how you become a pro, are there girls being like, so when are you jumping on the pit? Like, I feel like that doesn't happen that much. Have you noticed any of that?
Wait, what was the question?
So, like, when you become a pro, did anyone say to you, like, when are you gonna jump on the gear now? Because you're a pro
Oh,
now, like, when are you gonna?
yeah.
Is that a
Oh,
thing?
all the time.
Really?
Oh, all the time.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
all the time. Yeah, people, but I feel like it's just people that feel comfortable with me though. It's not
yeah.
like I'm getting asked on the street or with a microphone or anything. But
And
yeah, people that are around me will go like, what do you think? And I'll just give my honest answer. And yeah, like maybe down the road, but I'm just not too sure yet. I don't feel like I know enough about it.
yeah.
I mean, I've only been in the gym like 5 years, so let's
Yeah,
just
true. Like, come
let's just
on,
get some muscle on first.
hit that natural peak and then see what happens. But when people ask you, you don't feel like pressure or negative, You're just like, oh no, that's just not for me. It's just general talk conversation.
Yeah. Yeah, and like if people want to do it, like absolutely, because it's your body, your choice, and all that. And it doesn't really matter if you are or aren't at the end of the day, because everyone's judged the same. And someone who's natty can look better than someone who's on, and then vice versa.
Yeah,
So
100%. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and it's, at the end of the day, it's an untested sport as well. So me saying I'm natty doesn't mean I'm, better than anyone or more special. It's just a fact, really.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
yeah,
it's just the choice you've gone down. Everyone's got their own, and that's so
exactly.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just more intrigued about it. I just like the science of it. I'm just a human freak, like, I just like to know how the body works and all the science and all that.
Yeah.
It's always interesting to chat about. Okay, so again so that was a little deeper topic. Again on a deeper topic, I mentioned at the start that I've started a bit of a project called Defender. It's spelled defend her, but spelled defender. So it's about women. Well, I'm going to start with women in the gym because I feel like that's a big thing, but I want it to be all round. And this is specifically women targeted by men in certain situations. And I feel like the gym's a big one. So I wanted to talk to you about this. I put it on my story, and holy crap, I got absolutely hounded, not hounded, but like slammed in my DMs with stories about women that have had these experiences all the time. It's very common. So this is anything from like men just talking to you every day at the gym, like not leaving you or not understanding there's a boundary, or like filming you. That happens a lot. Like people taking pictures of you in the gym, or just following you home from the gym. Is there anything like that that's happened to you? And what are your thoughts on this topic? Do you hear about this stuff? Do you think it's an issue? Do you think women feel safe in the gym? Like, just give me your general thoughts on this topic.
Well, I think it disproportionately affects women. I think, you can be harassed as a man, but
Yeah.
the statistics and just anecdotally, you know that it happens to women more often. And so just for the purposes of this conversation, we'll just talk about women for now. But yeah, I guess yeah, personally, I've definitely gone through it. But yeah, women, like, we deserve to feel safe in the gym. I think that it should be a safe space, and it shouldn't be anywhere where you're getting harassed or hounded or anything. It's actually not natural. It's actually like not normal. And I think it does get a wee bit normalized, like, oh, just deal with it, or like, oh, you'll be fine. Like he's just a friendly guy. But if you ever feel like unsafe, or if you ever feel like something's wrong, you are allowed to be mean. And this is something that has, like, I've been thinking about a lot. You're allowed to be mean. If someone is harassing you and you kind of go into fight, flight, or freeze. There's also a fourth one called fawn. And you tend to want to appease the other person, like be nicer to them to get them to go away. Like, oh, I'll just keep the conversation going because then he might leave me alone. It's like, he's just going to keep coming back. And that's something I actually, tying into my own experience, that's something that I used to default to. I used to default to fawn. And there was one person in particular who wasn't leaving me alone. And this person started stalking me and was sending, when I rebuffed his advances, he would send death threats to my workplace and courier them to me with pictures of me on. And he would write some really horrific things. You know, you can only imagine, just like imagine like the worst thing you could kind of like threaten to do to someone. And that's what he was writing on there. And I know this is a horrible topic, but unfortunately, this happens more often than we think. And sometimes uncomfortable topics do need to be talked about. So just wanted to say that first. But yeah, anyway, I do have experience in this realm, and it did actually escalate to the point where he was following me into work and all that kind of stuff. And thankfully, my old workplace was amazing and they helped me get a restraining order. So that's in place for, I think it's 5 years. They're really hard to get, so I was really stoked with that. Unfortunately, he did breach his restraining order in September, a week before the Christchurch show. So yeah, he threatened to come to the Christchurch show and sort me out, basically.
And so he didn't, did he?
Yeah, that was a breach. Oh, he didn't because the police sorted it out. But I can't. That's about as much I can say because it's still going through the courts at the moment, and it's coming to a head in June, so that's really good. But just tying into what you've said about Defend Her, I'm really supportive of this because I have had my own experience, and it's been going on for 3 years, you know. And I just wanted to like send a message to any young girls out there, like, if you are in that kind of situation where someone's not leaving you alone, you are allowed to tell them to leave you alone and be a little bit mean, you know, be strong and tell them. And if you don't feel comfortable, like go to the gym manager, you know, ring your dad, like ask for support, because at the end of the day, you should not have to be changing the time you're going to the gym. You should not have to make your life work around someone who's making you feel uncomfortable. Believe me, too much weird shit happens in this world. Too much weird stuff happens, and people will abuse your kindness sometimes, and they will take advantage of it. They'll take something beautiful and make it into something awful. So if you feel uncomfortable, don't hesitate. Like, do not hesitate to reach out and do something about it, because I wish 3 years ago I had done that. I wish I'd taken action sooner, but I just let it continue until I got to that point.
And it's hard, hey, babe. Like, you're such a lovely person, and like you're nice to people, and and all of us girls are usually, I can be a bitch at times, but even I'm nice to people, and you just let them in too much. But even like a couple of weeks ago, I had to say to someone like, look, he was like talking to me all the time at the gym, and he's a nice guy. He's sort of in our realm, but like just a bit too much. And then he was asking why I'm not responding to his DMs, and I just said, look, I've got a boyfriend, 4 years I've been with him. I don't need to respond to you. I don't need to speak to you every time I'm at the gym for 15 minutes. I have a business. That's all I can think about. I shouldn't even be at the gym. I've got work to do. I don't need to speak to you every time I'm in here. But
you're not actually obligated.
No.
You're actually not obligated to speak. Like, I know that we're always taught that we're meant to be nice and be accommodating and all this. But at the end of the day, when it comes to your personal safety, that's not to be like messed around with. Like, that's actually a really serious thing. And you just never know where something could end up. And if you do not want to talk to someone, if it's just as simple and trivial as, I don't want to talk to you, you actually don't have to. And you can do what you did and just be like, look, I'll be honest with you. I don't have the time.
Yeah, sorry, I can't. Or just I'm sorry, I'll just get back to my workout, put your headphones in and carry on. And if they still keep
Yeah.
going, then step it up a notch, but you can be mean and you can be a bitch and you're allowed to be because they're trying to take your time, pushing you to feel uncomfortable. You start going to the gym at different times, you start wearing different clothes to the gym, you feel uncomfortable all the time. A lot of girls switch gyms. The amount of people that do switch gyms is fucking wild. The stats on this is absolutely nuts. But if you're interested in this topic, if you're like, yeah, I'm one of those girls, or you're just for the girls, like you just want to be part of it, jump on Instagram, it's Defender NZ, and just engage with the community. And there'll be lots of tips I'll share on there over time. Again, my time's limited, but I really want to do this because I really look out for the girls. And I know that this happens to men too. But as a woman, I've just been in too many situations where a man has put his power and his strength over me, and we are so defenseless as women. We might be strong, pros, bodybuilders, whatever. Some of us are on peds, but we can't always overpower a man. And that is the scariest thing. Men will never understand that. That is so scary. If a man wants to inflict his power and his strength on you, he can. And 9 times out of 10, he can get away with that. So, well, not get away with it, but he can do it at the time. So I want women to feel stronger and just have plans in place that if you don't feel strong enough, this is what you do. And then if you want to engage, I want to work like code words between women. Like if I walk up to you at the gym and I'm like, watermelon or something, like this means that someone's fucking harassing me. Can you help me like a little bit or something? Like I just want women to feel a little bit more looked after. So that's what that's about. It's not about all guys. We love our guys. We love all of our bodybuilders and the men in the gym. Like there's so many nice people, but there are the odd few that just kind of take it too far, a little
It's
bit
just the odd
creepy.
few. It's
Yes,
literally
they
just
ruin
the
it.
odd few. Like it's not that many, but at the very small amount are very loud and very
Yes.
annoying.
Yes,
So
very annoying, and they need to go away. But I'm not a man hater. I love my boys, and I'm all about them. But it's just about this little situation, just keeping women safe. That's it.
and I didn't mean like if someone comes up to you in the gym, they're not allowed to talk to you. I didn't mean that. I mean, I don't know. Do I have to say that or I
No,
mean,
I just think there's a
yeah,
line for everyone. It's different for each person, right?
yeah,
About
it's
what they
different for
feel
each
will
person.
last. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So
I just know what it can do if you genuinely do feel unsafe, like genuinely, and then you let it go on. That's where I was coming from.
yeah, and you're so right, babe. That's exactly what. Like, and everyone's got a different threshold about what they find. But as soon as you feel uncomfortable, that is your body telling you, like, something's not right. Maybe this isn't good. I don't need to talk to this guy for half an hour about his fucking whatever. Like, just you can move on from it. So we'll talk more about that over there. But thank you, Emily, for sharing your story and just like being a part of it because it's just for the girls. Sometimes we just need to have our backs.
100%, 100%.
So that is kind of what's going on in there. That's all the deep stuff. I've got some Instagram questions for you before we wrap it up. Should we go through those?
Yeah, definitely.
Who is your favorite bikini Olympian besides Kate? I always have to say that because Kate's everybody's favorite.
Um, oh man, Daraja
Oh my God, I love
Weidmoyer.
yeah.
Daraja's just always been my favorite. I love her posing. I think she's just the most graceful, like feminine, beautiful woman. I'm always just such a fan of her. Like I can't go past Daraja. Like obviously I love Amy and Laura Lee and all of like everyone else, but yeah, Daraja is always my number one.
And isn't she a sweet person? Like even anytime you see her in like a podcast or like in a photo shoot, she's so lovely. I just love
Love
her.
Her YouTube is so good. I've learned so much from her.
And she's a mama now, so she's taking like a little hiatus, hey, just to be a mama. But she said she's coming back like 100%. So I can't wait for that day. It's gonna
Me
be
too.
good.
I'm so excited. Yeah.
Let's go, Daraja. Who will be our bikini pro in New Zealand this year? Oh my God, that's a hard one.
Oh, when I oh medicine,
Oh, it's Maddie.
medicine
Okay.
Dobie.
Yeah, I love her.
I'm such a fan of her physique. To me, she's just like she already looks like a pro, and I think she could do it. I think she
Yeah,
could do it for sure.
she's amazing. And just what she's overcome and stuff, hey, she's just crazy. She's a
Oh,
weapon.
she's amazing. Yeah, yeah. I have a lot of respect for her, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. Go, Maddie. My money's on Sian Bennett this year just because she's a freak. But honestly, who knows?
Sean's amazing as well. Yeah, yeah,
There's
definitely.
so many though, eh? It's gonna be fun to battle it
There's
out.
so many.
I can't wait. Hopefully I get second in my class so I can just watch.
Oh, and Barbara.
Oh yes, arms back.
Barbara. Yeah.
Yes, guys, it's
Oh,
gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good one. Who did your hair and makeup for your show days? Someone asked that in like a broad, like show days. So was it the same person every time, or did you have different people?
so the first two shows, my friend Kayla did my makeup. She's a makeup artist here in Christchurch. I think it's KM Beauty or KM Makeup.
Okay, cool.
And then my hairdresser, April, she did my hair for both my first two shows, but the next two shows, both the national shows, they were up north.
Oh,
So
yeah.
Kendall did my makeup for those two, and I think I did my own hair for those, possibly.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Nice, babe. That makes it easy.
super easy.
Yeah, super easy. What do you think you'll do with your hair next? Are you going to go straight, curly? Have you even thought about that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I've had like 2 years, so I feel
Yeah.
like I sort of had an idea. I think I might go straight. I
Mm,
really liked my hair straight the first time I did it, and I'm gutted I didn't do it for the next couple of shows because it got kind of messy. The
yeah.
curls were kind of like I saw in the stage photos. I just wanted to just adjust myself when I looked back at them.
They do get messy though. You don't even think about it. They get a little bit just like, I don't know, cray cray, don't
And
they?
like under the stage lights and the
Yeah.
lights are coming down, it just shows every little.
Like flyaway or anything, eh? It's gonna
I'll
be like,
try straight hair first, and
mm,
then I'll see how I go.
nice. Love it. I'm excited. How do you balance full-time work and bodybuilding?
I just have my systems in place.
Mm,
Like, and I give myself non-negotiables. Like, I have to be at the gym by 5:30. I just have to be, or else because I finish work at 7, I
yeah.
can't go after 7. I'm just like, it'll mess up my sleep. And if you take pre at that time, it's just a bit all over the place. So yeah, I just say like having my schedule, having my non-negotiables, and just making sure my meal prep's done, really. But that's really all.
Yeah.
It's mainly just the meal prep, I think.
Yeah, that's got to
That's
be
the hard
done. Yeah. Because if you
got to be
don't,
done.
it's so hard. Like, what else? You got to cook your meal before you eat it. It's like, no, it's
And
crazy.
definitely like stress levels, like monitoring stress levels and just making sure that I'm not getting too stressed because
Mhm.
that's a killer. That's a
Yeah,
killer.
so true. Are you good with your sleep as well?
I'd like to be better. I would like to be better. I do sort of get a bit like I get really because I kind of started about 10:30, 11, and then I kind of go throughout my day, and then by the time like I finish, which is like 6 or 7, I'm kind of like riled up and not
Mhm.
riled up, but I'm
So
sort of like still ready to go. I'm wired, not
yeah.
riled up, I'm wired. So I've got to sort of allow myself to sort of come down.
Yeah, yeah, I totally get what you mean. So you train in the evenings. Have you ever been a morning trainer before work?
Oh, always a morning person.
Oh, you're the morning. So it's at 5:30 a.m. you're at the gym by.
Yes, yes. Oh,
Oh,
sorry, I should have said 5:30 a.m. I'm at the
no,
gym.
that makes sense. That makes sense. I'm the same. So I was like, how do you do it 5:30 every evening? I just wouldn't be able to get the machines
Oh
on.
no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I'm definitely a morning person. I love it.
Yeah. And what about cardio? Do you do it like straight after usually if like you've got it a bit more in prep, or would you separate them and just do like one on one?
I try and do them like one after the other.
Yeah. It's
Then
just easier.
some days it just kind of depends on how you're feeling and how the day's going. If you've slept in, and
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes it's after work. But
Yeah, but it's nice to have the morning train because if you do sleep in or something happens or whatever, you've got the evening to fall back on. But if you don't get it in the evening, that's it. Like the day's over. It's like what do I
yeah,
do?
exactly.
Nice to
Yeah.
have a little bit of leeway. What's your gym playlist genre? Are you
Um,
B? What are you?
Anything like hip hop or classical music or musical theatre stuff, which
Cool.
is probably a hangover from my degree.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been loving Wicked at the moment, the Wicked
Oh,
soundtrack.
I love that.
Um, Honestly, anything like I'll sometimes I don't train like with headphones, sometimes I just train silently, and I just love that sometimes. It just depends on my mood though. I'm not
Yeah,
really someone that relies on having something in my ears, which is kind of nice,
that's
but
good.
yeah.
Yeah, because people like will go turn around and go home if they forgot their headphones. It's like,
Yeah.
you should still be able to train. Come on. Get in there. What are your posing tips for first timers? Maybe that are starting this year. Maybe they're about to start their preps or whatever soon. What would you give them as advice?
Um, Probably like work on your mobility, like your lower back mobility, your hip mobility,
Good.
your like up like your thoracic mobility through your upper back. And obviously like get a good posing coach is probably number one as well.
Mhm.
And just put in the reps.
Yeah. Put
For
in
a
the
first timer, like probably just like put in the reps and just even when you feel crap, just put on the heels and just have a go, really. Because the
yeah.
more reps you put in, the better your outcome's gonna be.
Absolutely. And you just want, I feel like I just say this to all the girls. Like, do you want to go out there and feel confident? Like, I can get into the poses, I know what I'm doing. Or do you want to feel like, shit, this is so scary? Like, the lights are too much. Like, you want to fall back on like your habits, right? Like, I've done this so many times, I can do it. Like, I feel like that confidence just like, because I've got anxiety, that would just be my foundation. So I feel like that's what I would tell the girls, like, get that down. You want to feel prepared.
So true. And like just like what you just building on from what you just said, like what I was saying earlier, like circling back to that, like the way you practice is genuinely, it's the way you perform.
Yeah.
So you get comfortable and stuff. Like when I was posing Liv, like when we were doing our posing sessions together, I remember I used to say to her, like, I used to make like loads of noise while she was posing in front of me sometimes just to distract her because that's what show day is going to be like.
Yes.
I'd be like, or I'd be like on my phone and she'd be like posing in front of me. Like we do like drills like that.
Yeah.
Where
Judges.
she, yeah, where she would have to like still do what she was doing, but in unfavorable conditions because you just don't know how it's going to go.
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. And I had like one of my clients said to me the first year she competed, which was the year before last. She was like, the judges weren't even looking at me. So like, why do I need to put effort into my post? I'm like, oh, you don't know that they were looking like that. These two might not have been looking at you. They might have been writing down the notes, but these two could be, and Mo could be looking at you from over the
Yeah,
side. You don't want to fuck around for a second up there. So
yeah.
stay on.
Then someone could be watching, like one of the judges could have taken a toilet break and they're coming back, and who knows?
Totally. Yeah. And the audience can see you too. So just stay on. Like you want to be on the whole time, eh? You've got like a couple of minutes on the stage. So just make them fucking boss, eh? Like make them count. I love it. What is the fave thing about posing your posing clients? So maybe what's your favorite thing about being a posing coach?
Oh, I love being a part of someone's journey. Like, because I didn't know I was gonna love posing coaching because I'd had girls like approach me before. Like even when I was like even before I turned pro, like girls would be like, "Oh, would you be keen to like meet up and you could show me some posing stuff?" I think. And because there's not many of us down here, there's only like three or four of us. So because girls had approached me before, but yeah, I didn't know I was going to love it until I posed Liv. And then Liv just put so much effort in and she put all the work in. She'd probably be another favorite of mine for like turning pro as well, Liv. She's just always in like the top of my mind. So I didn't say her before, but Liv definitely. And then yeah, because I didn't know I was going to enjoy it. And then being a part of her journey and a part of her process was so incredibly rewarding. And I've actually found out that I love teaching. And I love finding different ways to explain things. So that's probably another favorite is like finding new ways to explain things and seeing someone like have that moment, have that click moment, and then getting really excited. And then I get excited.
Yeah, it's like a little team. It's so
Yeah,
cute.
exactly. Yeah.
I love that. It's so nice. And we got to watch like Live together. I was at the South Island show with you, and I'm watching Becky, and you're watching Liv, and we're both like, ah!
I
It was so
know.
much
Get
fun.
our phones out.
Yeah, it was good. I
It was
love
such a
that.
good day. That was a really good day.
Absolutely. Go Live. I feel like Class B and C might be quite fierce this year. Usually Class C is, isn't it? It's always there's a couple in there that are just like, whew, and I think
Sure.
Barb's Class B. I don't know. And Liv, what's Liv? Is she B or C?
She's B.
She's B. Yeah. So B. I feel like B and C will have those popping girls coming out, and Sean I think is C. So it's going to be fun to watch the girls
That was
this year.
that was such a big first timer one that Liv did at the South Island Champs. It
That
was
was
like
crazy.
15 girls or something, and it was incredible.
That was cool. And Liv got, what did she get in that class? Third?
She got first and first
Oh, she
timers.
got first and first timers. Oh,
I
that's
think, and then I think she got third in the open
it might
B.
be what I was thinking
I
about.
think.
Yeah, that was so good. And Becky got fifth that first time. As that first time was crazy. So I was like, "Welcome to the stage, Becky." This is what
Here
you
we go.
throw her in the hot, and she'll see what she does, and she did great. This is a good question. It's our last one from Instagram, but I thought it would be good for the last one. But outside of bodybuilding, what brings you joy and fills your cup?
Oh, that's such a good one. What brings me joy is like journaling. I love doing journaling. Um, Playing with my dad's dogs, seeing my sisters, spending time with my partner, and I really like scrapbooking.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Get it all
Scrapbooking.
down.
Yeah, but yeah, journaling's a big one for me. I love just writing and getting stuff down.
Yeah, love that.
Obviously the gym, but
Yeah,
at that point it's just a given.
it's just normal, habitual, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. And how's your partner doing? Because he competed this year. Oh no, last year. Now it's gone so
Yeah,
fast.
last year.
Did he
Yeah.
enjoy his time on the stage? And will we see him back? I don't know if you guys have anyone out there has seen him up there, but he looked like he had a good time. What did he think?
Yeah, he really enjoyed it. He'll definitely be coming back probably next year or the year after, but I think we might take turns, like year on, year off. We're
Yeah, that's
thinking.
good.
Yeah, because it was a lot of fun supporting him for his show, and it was so cool being on the other side. I was like, I've never seen it from this angle before.
And it's your man's. Like, how crazy is
I
that?
was so excited for him, and it was so cool to like, give him the placing and
Yeah. Yeah,
so
100%. But he'll be back and he'll be smashing it. That was just his first time, so he's only just dipped the toe away. He'll be back hot.
exactly.
Yeah.
And his journey. Have you seen his journey? Like where
I
he's
haven't seen his journey.
oh
No.
man, it's amazing. Like he oh, say no more. I won't say any more, but you should have a look at like where he started and like he's a big inspiration for me as well, if I'll be honest.
Oh, is it? Has he got like some of that on his Instagram and stuff that we can go
Yeah, yeah,
you check it out?
yeah. I think it's like Jazz Carrot or something.
Yeah, that's right. That rings a bell to me. I'm like, I've seen that tagged everywhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Probably have.
Oh, that's cool. Go check him out, guys. Go check him out. Go check Emily out. I'll put your Instagram and stuff in the description below, or as well as the Defender. Everything will be in the description below for you guys. Listening on Spotify and on YouTube, it'll be on there as well. Don't forget to give us a like and subscribe and all the good stuff. And Em, I'll get you back on after your pro debut, but let's just quickly just talk about that. What is next for you? Obviously, the New Zealand show.
I'd love to. I would love to. I feel like it's got to be this, right? After 2.5 years, this has got to be the time.
Yeah.
It feels right. It feels right. And all going well, I would love to compete. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Mo did it for you. He's like, Emily, get on the star. All right, we'll just make one here for her then. Like, she'll do it
I'm
then.
so grateful. I'm so grateful to NZIFBB for doing this.
So
I was
expensive.
like, I got like kind of emotional when I saw I was
Like, because
just
we
like, oh my
kind of knew.
God, this is
We've
so
been hearing about this for a bit, eh? It's like dropping little rumors and stuff,
exciting.
and we're like, is it going to happen? And when he put it up, it was like, oh my God, it's fucking happening. It's so crazy. But I'm
I
so,
was like, I was on a high for like the whole day. I was telling everyone I knew. I was like, there's a Bikini Pro show. They're like, what's that?
but yeah, what's that? Never mind. It's just Christmas for
Never
me.
mind, never mind. Yeah.
I love that, babe. So that's the plan. Obviously, things happen. We always know that. So we're not going to be like, you better be there. But is there anything else on the cards for you? Or are you like, I'm just going to deal with this one first, drive towards that, and then just see what happens after that, maybe?
We'll do this one first. We'll
Yeah.
do this one first. But yeah, there are plans. There are other plans, and it just depends on how the dates go.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And just one more question before you go, because this is just something I've just thought of. But what would be your favorite pro show to do internationally? Do you have any that you're like, oh, I want to do New York or Pittsburgh or Arnold or any of those?
Probably, I mean, it'd be amazing to do like an American show, like do a really big one at some point, like Tampa, the one
Oh,
that Amy Delgado won her first pro win.
yeah, that'd be cool.
Or even just to attend it, just to be in the audience would be amazing though. I'd just go there just to watch it as well, but probably like Tampa or like I'd be really keen to do like Thailand at some point. Like
That'd be
it'd
cool.
be really cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll just see how the dates go and stuff, and because my sister's getting married on sometime in early December, so it'll be
Oh,
like a month after, which is great timing. I won't be prepping for her wedding, so that's really good.
get the cake in.
Yeah, yeah, I can get the cake in for sure.
That's so good. But who knows? Maybe one day we'll have a WOV team over in the States doing a tour. I can see Frank doing that because he goes big or he goes home. So who knows what will happen in the future.
Yeah,
But I'm
yeah.
so pumped for you, babe, and I'm so excited for you for this year. Hopefully we see you on the stage. We'll all be there to support you. Everyone go and watch the shows this year. I'm sure we will. I'm sure they'll be packed out and sold out. And it was great to chat to you, but I'd love to chat to you again after your pro show if you get a chance. Would you be keen?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely.
To see how it went. Do you have any sponsors or brands that you work with or anyone that you want to shout out today before we wrap up the pod?
Definitely. Recovery RA, Rachel. She does all my cupping and my blading. She's amazing. So big shout out to her. She's going to be sponsoring me for the New Zealand Pro. So thank you so much, Rachel. I'm so excited.
Love
I've been
that.
with her for like 3 years. So Anytime Fitness Burnside, thank you guys for your ongoing support. Peak Gummies and of course Infinite Aesthetics as well.
There. And what's your code with them, babe? Just so anyone wants to shop and if they can use your code.
Um, Infinite is Emily 10 and Peak Gummies is Emily IFBB. So they're different.
Two little different codes. Write them down. Get them going. I love that, babe. That's so good. And you have been with your recovery chick for a while now. I've seen you've been posting it for a long time. On that note, do you find that like really helps you, like the recovery side of things? Do you find that beneficial?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I think it's like what works for me may not work for someone else, but I think this is the first thing I've tried where I actually feel 10 times better after, and it actually continues on into the week. Like previously I get like a deep tissue, and which is great for like 2 days, but the effects didn't really last on me. Whereas with cupping, I feel like I can go for 2 weeks without a session, which is really good, 2 or 3 weeks. And she just sorts me out. She's amazing at what she does and highly skilled. Like she trained over in Aussie, she was there, and she was working at a gym in Christchurch here. So she's got a lot of experience, like 15 years or something. So
That's so cool. Where is she located in, like in Christchurch? Like what part?
um Woolston, I think. Woolston-ish, like on the east side. Oh, you wouldn't know where that is, but
I don't know, but I'm like, surely down there you guys are like, there's
yeah, on
like
the east side.
where?
And like she works from home and the environment's really nice. And yeah, I trust her so much because when I first went to her, I was like, look, I've got this imbalance and like I need you to be really like tough with me because I don't do like, like I don't like a soft approach. Like I like them to get in there and really,
Yeah, get it
sort me
done.
out. And she was just like, look, I deal with 160 kilo strong men. Like, so she works with them and with powerlifters. And so, yeah, I'm pretty well covered.
Yeah, you're in good hands by the
I'm in
sounds.
good hands. Yeah.
Do your recovery, guys, and just yeah, like you said, any person's recovery could be different than the next, but it sounds like she covers a lot of bases. So if you're down there, go and get some help with it. Nice. Thank you so much for joining me, babe. Don't forget to go and follow Emily, guys. I'll put the link below. Just follow the journey, give us some support. I'll put Defender down below, all of that stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe, follow, and do all of the good stuff to support the pod. And we will see you all in the next episode. See you, Emily. See you, everyone. Bye.